Hello friends, welcome to Kiss Up Cards, Keep It Simple Stamping Up. I'm Marianne and I'm an independent Stampin' Up consultant coming to you from just south of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator, and you can, my shopping link is down below. You can sign up with me. Go online, check it out. There's lots of products online. I shop online instead of the catalog. I find the catalog very overwhelming. It's got a lot of great products in it. It's got some great designs in it, but I find it overwhelming to shop. I find online easier. So give it a try. Nothing to lose by shopping, just dream window shopping, window online shopping. Tonight I have another fun fold. It's Friday fun fold night, and I can't wait to show you this one either. I'm so excited about fun fold Fridays and bringing to you some really neat designs. And tonight is a really cool design. It's a fun fold, kind of like looking like an easel card. So I don't really have a name for it, but here we go. Join me at my craft table. Now at my crafting table, what I have is just a plain sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. This is my cardstock. This is one of the colors I'm going to use. This is called parakeet green. Really nice, vibrant green. It looks really vibrant on the camera, more so than it is in real life. But what I do is, if I'm doing new cuts on something, I practice on scrap paper first. So the measurements are 11.5, which is the long side, by 4.25. So I need to cut my paper at 4.25. Which is just half, right? We often do halves. Well, that did not cut very well. Get that back to 4.25. I did not do that very well. Then it says to cut this down. Oh, that's because I scored. Great that it's scrap paper. Then it says to cut down to 8 inches. And score at 5.5. So I'm going to cut this at 8 inches, which means I need my arm of my cutting blade. So cut that down to 8 inches. Now save this piece because we're going to use it later. So I'm going to save that. And then score it at 5.5. So I always practice. I scored too much. Anyway, it's so this is what the card looks like. There is going to be our fun fold. This is scrap paper, so don't worry about it. This is just scrap. And then this is the other mat, and it's going to go this way. So again, we're just using half of the cardstock, so you can make 2 cards out of each piece of cardstock. And this is going to be our fun fold card. All right, I'm ready to use my good paper. And you can make a template and then write all the measurements on that as well, and then keep that with your measurements and use that as a guideline. It's just a great way, so then I would just start writing on here and use that as your template. And then you could keep that. I just printed off some measurements, and then I could keep that in my binder that I have of techniques or templates and just keep it there. So this is, and then we're going to mat this, and we're going to put designer paper here and designer paper here with a sentiment. So that's what we're going to do with the card. Oh, and then a piece at the back. All right, so let's start using our good cardstock. Are we ready? Are you guys ready? I hope I'm ready. So here I go. I'm going to cut it in. So I need a piece that's 11 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut that into 11. And so we're going to have 2 pieces. I don't need this scrap paper anymore. Then this is going to be cut down to 8 inches, which will make the base of our card. Remember this piece, we still want to keep that. And now we have an 8 inch by 4 1/4 inch, and we're going to score at 5 1/2. So that's one card, and then you're just going to fold this. And you can use your bone folder or your fingers, but so these 2 pieces go together for your card. And then we're going to do that on this piece. We're going to cut it down. I might as well make 2 cards at the same time because I've got 2 pieces cut. You don't have to, but it just helps me to show you. So that I cut that at 8 inches. So I cut this piece off, and now I'm just going to score it at 5 1/2. And then I'm going to fold it. Okay. And then this piece goes with this piece. Now for our designer series paper, put that arm down. I don't need that anymore. For a designer series paper, I'm going back with the ice cream because I thought that was so much fun that I worked with last week. And that's going to just like pop up on that paper. Sprinkles are this piece that I'm going to cut is going along the top here. So that's too big, so I just have to trim that down. And I need to trim it to 4 inch by 2 1/4 inch. So I think, oh, that's bigger than 4 inches. So I'll trim that down to 4 inches. And then I need 2 1/4. It's just a little trim there, 2 1/4. This little piece I can use on the inside of my card, so that's not going to go to waste. So this is the piece that I cut here. Okay, that's going to go there. And the next piece I'm going to cut is the ice cream cones. I have 2 different kinds of ice cream cones. I'll do 1 card with this and 1 card with that. And this is going to be cut at 4 inches by 2 3/4. Now again, this is directional. So you always turn your paper, instead of this way, turn it so it's sideways. And I'm going to make the larger cut, which is going to be 4 inches because it's going to go this way on the card. It's going to work. Just trust me. Have you ever seen it not work yet? After last week's video, I think you guys would be like, we don't trust you at all. Oh my gosh, doing last week's video was it was a challenge. And then I want 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. So this card is going to go this way for the fun fold. Okay. So we're going to have it this way. And then this card I'm going to make this way. So that means this is going to be 4 inches. So I have to make sure that's 4 inches. Ooh, just shave off a little bit. And then 2 3/4. Oh, just a minute. Is it? Yeah, it's 2 3/4. tops of the ice cream cut off. 2 3/4. I guess it's not going to matter. And this one is going to go this way. So we've got it going 2 different ways, the fun fold, which is kind of cool. And I think on this one, I'm going to do the waffle cone, the brown. This one has the confetti. I'm going to do the brown. So I need 4 inches. This is not directional paper, so it does not matter. So I'm going to do 2 3/4 first. So I'm just taking a little bit off of this. And then I'm going to do 4 inches. So I just have this little piece. That's a nice square piece. Oh, sorry, I cut the wrong one. Okay, let me try that again. So I need 4 inches. So 4 inches. So I want this 2 1/4. I'm just going to shave a little bit off. And this could be used for the inside of the card. So that's going to go on there. And this is going to go on here. All right, so we did our card base and we've got our paper cut out. And that works out really well. We could do a paper at the back here. We could leave it that parakeet party. That looks too busy. Now for the inside of the card, I'm going to use Very Vanilla. And I need 5 1/4 by 4 inch. So let me do 4 inches. By 5 1/4. You could use any color in the inside, this inside part of the card. You could use pattern paper. You could use whatever your heart's desire is. This is what I'm going to use today. I want to show you what is simple and easy, and that didn't work. Okay, so another 4 1/4. By 5 1/4. And 5 1/4. I think I was cutting a card instead of the inside of the card, which is always smaller than the outside. So I'm ready to glue these up. Grab my glue. And this, I'm going to stamp these first. This is just another fun way to do a card. Have my Stampin' seal, and I'm just, make sure that's the top. And I'm using this instead of glue because it adheres right away. and it has more stickability, if that's such a word. So I'm measuring from here to here and down here. And there's that card done. So that's one fun fold. And then we have it going the other way on this card. I have made this design many, many times. I love it. You can make, that one stands like this. This one is not, I like how it looks this way. I think I got it, just gonna kind of shift it off. There we go. Make it measure to the bottom here. That's what I did wrong. And there we go. Now it stands up. Okay, so there's those two cards. I'm going to stamp this and then get some sentiments ready. So I'm going to use, to make the labels, I'm going to use two punches. I'm going to use the scalloped outside punch and then the circle punch in vanilla to do the sentiments on. And I picked out a brown to imitate the ice cream cone color. So I'm going to cut two of those out, punch two of those out. I'm not going to cut them. That's from my stash. And then from Very Vanilla, which is what I'm putting on the inside, I'm going to cut two circles, two smaller circles to fit in the center of this. There we go. So now I'm going to stamp these. And so I picked a stamp that says Celebrate Your Day. There we go. Celebrate Your Day. That picks up the green really nicely in the card, from the card. Oh, that's gorgeous. Lovely. And then the inside of the card, I hadn't stamped those yet. So now I have to be careful how I stamp them. This one, I can't stamp this way. I have to stamp it this way. And I think I'm going to stamp it up near the top so it stays covered by the card. And I picked Wishing You the Happiest of Birthdays. So that's that one. And then this one, oh, that was for the inside of this card, so it went this way. And this one I can do more or less in the center. The green I'm using you will not get from, but Stampin' Up! Definitely has a green that goes with Parakeet Party. But again, I have a lot of stamps from my scrapbooking days that I'm using up. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. So there's the stamping done. I've shown the Charming Sentiments pack. If you get something that has mostly sentiment, like this is just all sentiments, you can tell. There's maybe a couple that I haven't used, maybe 3, 4 that I haven't used, but look at the others that I've used really, really well. This one has been a good purchase. All right, let's get these together and get them on. And I think I had some paper that I could put there. Definitely. I'm going to take my little silicone pad, which I just thoroughly Love. Whoops. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Well, it looks like it's going to be the ice cream cones. And it's a good thing that there are some there. And that picks up on the green. Well, that was a good mistake. And then this one. Let me see what I have here. I'd like to cut a piece of this. No, yes, because this is going with the one with the brown on the top. So I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm going to put it this way, and this will definitely meet. So let me cut that out. I feel I'm running out of room. This is what happens to me when I start making cards. All right, let's do 3/4 of an inch. And let's get this across the, where is my tape runner? I don't think that cut straight at all. Look at the width on that. Let's try and do this again. Let's see. Having a hard time getting it there. I think I got it now. And this you're going to see through the card. It's going to be right at the edge. Cut that off. All right, so I'm going to glue that on. That worked out really well. I mean, you know, sometimes it just does. You'll notice that on a number of my videos. The odd time it doesn't, but most of the time it does. So there's our cards. Now let's get the sentiments together. Let's pop those babies up on some dimensional dots. Whoops, I got two at the same time. Put this more to the top so that you see more of the ice cream cones. You could put it in the center, depending on your design. I kind of like it at the top, so that looks really cool. And this one, I'm going to put it over here so it's just covering one ice cream cone, but not all of them. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Again, you could put it in the center. My greeting is a little big. If you made a smaller greeting, I guess that would be okay. There we go. Fun fold cards. Just a neat way to do another way of doing cards. There you go, folks. that was our easy fun fold tonight. So I'll pop the directions, all the cutting directions and scoring directions down below. I finished off the envelopes. I love finishing off the envelopes, whether it's the flap or the front of the envelope. And then I finished my card with some gems. So this one, you see a little bit of this popping out at the bottom, but there we have the sentiment in. So that was card number 1. That went this way. This is card number 2, and it goes this way. So you can have it landscape or portrait. And this one, I finished with some gems, picked up the blue from the ice cream, and I decorated the envelope to go with it. My ice cream cones were actually going the right way to put it on the flap. I was excited about that. Usually I have to get non-directional. So that's our Friday fun fold for tonight. Just comment if you're, using some of these designs. What did you think of this one? There was a little bit more cutting, I think, involved than last week's. Last week's was more scoring, but each week it's going to be a little different. And it's, but did you think that this is too complicated, or is this something you think you can do? And if you think it's too complicated, practice first, like I did at the beginning of the video on my craft table. Practice first with craft paper, just, copy paper. So I did that. I had cut this out. I scored too hard. I forgot it was thin paper, and don't score too hard on thin paper. It cuts it. But I had practiced this main cutting for myself. But if you want to practice with 2 different colors and practice the cardstock part of it and the designer series paper with, like, say, green or blue or something, or white, and then piece it all together and then write your directions on here, absolutely, that's a great way to do it as well. And then keep it in your idea binder, so that when you're sitting down to make cards, that's what I love about my binder or my Pinterest page. I have all kinds of card designs, although that can get overwhelming when I'm in a state of, I really don't know what to do. But I go to my binder and I flip through, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I think I'm going to make this one. I haven't done that one for a while. So I have both. I have online ideas and I have my paper ideas. I'm still like my paper ideas sometimes. So that is our Friday fun fold. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for catching the philosophy of sharing kindness 1 card at a time.